Hot coffee. Good morning, YouTube. What is going on? You are on the lifeboat. This is Captain Calhoun speaking. Good morning. Happy, Merry Christmas Eve, huh? Good morning. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Thank you for your patience. Welcome in. We have a very special Christmas episode today. Hopefully, we can get some company in here. We'll see how it goes. Victoria Vitrulis, hello, hello. Twisted Sister Paranormal, Jeremy Fowler, Kristen Melinda, Joe Mama, Jamie Palmer, Nicola E, Katrina, hello, hello. Good to see you guys. Wow, we got a lot of people in here this morning. Shannon Trim, Cindy G, Kate Christie. Good morning, guys. I hope that this message finds you well. I hope that everyone is doing great this morning. Anka, hello, hello in the UK. The nurse who loved me. Hello, hello. Heck yeah, guys. I was wondering how what it was gonna look like when I pressed the button. Jason P, looking good with your new thumbnail, man. Looking good. Robin, hello, hello. Heck yeah, guys. I'm hoping the Admiral and maybe even Uncle Johnny will join us this morning, but we're gonna go on without them for a little while and see what happens. Jeanette McClure, hello. Shelly, Annika, Roger, you filthy animals. Claudia, hello, hello. Barbara, Maramello, Majesty. Well, heck yeah. Welcome in. I've been reading while I've been sitting here having coffee and preparing myself. I've been reading about y'all's days and your plans and your cookies and just all this wonderful stuff. I have to say, I am gonna need some ice cream later. I was talking with my buddies last night, and I kept talking about ice cream, and they asked me, "You got a thing for ice cream?" And I was like, "You know what? It's Christmas. I need some ice cream, so I'm gonna have to go down to the store and get some." Mother Bird, good morning. I think it's the coolest thing that the lifeboat makes its way into offices all over the world. People are at work listening to the lifeboat, and I think that's the wildest thing. I think that's so cool. Cece, hello, hello. Good to see you. Thank you guys for all your support and whatnot. It has been a wild year, has it not? Has it not? Lots has happened, and I think even more is going to happen in 2025, at least from my vantage point. Really excited to roll out my own little channel. Really excited to keep doing this with all that I've learned. And the skills that I'm going to be cultivating, doing my own thing is going to translate into the boat a lot too. We'll end up having new and exciting things over here, which I think we need, Not that I just think it could get stale, just talking about the same stuff all the time. It's important stuff. I got to find new and interesting ways to present these ideas, though, because it does gets boring for me, I mean, at least the information part. So I'm really excited about all that. My sister and my mother are most likely touching down in Salt Lake City sometime today, I believe. Pretty stoked about that. And I think that's just it. I think my grandparents, my mom and my sister are going to be out there. Today, I think the Scoville boys are going to get together and do something. Not entirely sure what yet. I'm sure that we have some special Christmas plan, though. And I believe Christmas Day we're going to spend with the whole family out here. So that should be fun. Should be fun. I imagine my cousin is fully moved in, so he should be available as possible. Dale Cox, what's going on? Got a brisket going in the smoker with a big ham. There's something about a big ham on a holiday, man. A honey ham, there's nothing quite like some pork. Nothing quite like some pork. Well, it's hard for me to read. There's so many people. I know it's really not that many people, but you know what I mean? So I appreciate your patience with me. Matrix Rabbit, I'm sorry to hear you're in the hospital, man. Let's get some ones up for Matrix. And if anyone sees Dennis from Boston, I'm trying to get in touch with him. If Dennis is here, what was I going to say to him? Now I'm going to forget. The Lifeboat would like to get in touch with you. Please, we would like to find a way to reach out to you and help. So please email us. Let's get some contact information or something. Because we'd like to help you out if we can. Mr. Dennis. Prime rib going in the oven, a few hours along with smoked Gouda mac and cheese. Oh my. I just finished off some Kraft mac and cheese myself. Sweet potato souffle. I have to say, this is an occasion for eating. Um, I I bet I'll end up reading a ton of wonderful dishes today. I'd rather be eating them than reading them. You know what I mean? I tell you what. And also, do me a favor this holiday season, today, tomorrow. Be safe out there. There are people out there driving drunk. There are people out there doing silly stuff. There are people out there living it up a little too much. So just be safe. Don't I don't want to hear anyone got hit by a drunk driver or anything like that. I mean, obviously, if it happens, tell us, right? But be careful out there. We would prefer that nobody get injured or anything like that, right? Nobody get hurt. Going to your cousin's turkey in 2 hours, James. Well, that sounds great. I have to say, turkey's probably my favorite bird. I know chicken's pretty standard and staple, and I do love me some chicken, but turkey's just so good. Nurse who loved me says it's gonna go stop in the hospital over Christmas to see my friend who's in there. I wish I could come visit you, Matrix Rabbit. I tell you what, that just makes me think of Matrix, my friend in the hospital. Got a bad doctor day? Well, I'm sending you all the good vibes I can muster, man. Hopefully we can get you a good doctor in there, huh? My Sal pal, hello, hello. Majesty, 2.5 years free from heroin today. Holy crap. Wow. Wow, that's a big deal. Congratulations, Majesty. Keep up the good work. It has got to be one of the hardest things you've ever done, I imagine. It's got to be one of the hardest things. What am I today? Let me count my days. I don't count every single day, uh, but I know what my sobriety date is. So February is the second month, so that means there's 10 months outside of it. So I want to say I'm a year and 10 months today because January 24th will be 11 months and then February 24th will be 2 years. Yeah, today, the 24th of February 2023. I do math, right? I can do math. Almost 2 years. Estelle, hello, hello. Debbie Blair. Anyone out there that does have some time clean, how much time? How much time do you have? I'm curious. We don't always celebrate our milestones. We should, right? I talk about it all the time, but let's. It's the end of the year, guys. Let's celebrate a little bit. I've got a year and, like I said, 10 months. What about you? What are you working with? What kind of time do you get under your belt? And again, I don't say this to like compare like I'm better than you or you're better than me or anything like that, but it's fun to see how far we've come. It's fun to see because you could have one day, you could have 3 years, right? You could have 10, 15 years, you could have 9 years, right? Like Shannon says. I just think it's really, really cool to recognize how far we've come, to celebrate each other, right? Regardless of how big or small the time is, it's a big deal, right? If you have a week, if you have 6, 7 days off of heroin, off of whatever, that's a big deal, right? I just think that we do celebrate, but we don't celebrate a ton. So why don't we go ahead and celebrate a ton today, huh? We've been working at this thing all year long, and we're gonna go ahead and do it again next year too. But it's time for a little bit of back padding. Dale Cox, 15 years, January 14th. Wow. Wow, dude. I hope one day, I look forward to having an immense amount of time, right? Double digits. That would be pretty cool. Now I'm going to have to scroll up and go through all these. Victoria says random P test helped me. 5 years probation. I tell you what, the system breathing down your neck will definitely do that, which is one way to look at it positively, right? Well, I guess I'm grateful for my probation because it, helped steer me in the right direction, right? Because it's really hard to find redeeming qualities behind federal state probation, either way. It's hard to look at positively, but that's awesome. Good. 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 I was told there would be no math on the boat. There's no math. We're not doing math. Dreaming of blue skies and sandy beaches. Hello, hello. Merry Christmas Eve to you. Kristen Melinda has 11 years off nicotine. Wow. Time to clean off my corporate job I hated. 6 months. Now that is trophy worthy right there. Start living your best life now, right? There's no time like the present. There's no need to slave away for some jerk that doesn't care, right? Get rid of him and start doing some work of the soul, right? I'm really glad you made that switch, Kristen. I don't think that you were lacking for joy before, but you definitely seem more joyful to me. Not hating your job will do that. James Collins says January 2nd is my big anniversary of kicking meth 20 years ago. I'm just gonna keep this thing right here. 20 years, man. I'm gonna Homer Simpson this trophy for you, dude. That's awesome. That's so cool. 34 years, says my pal Sal. Going on 5 years soon, I think, says Nurse Who Loved Me. Melody says my sobriety date is February 17th, 2001. Almost 24 years. That's a crazy amount of time. One day I'm going to hit the double digits. Most likely one day about 8 years from now. People, places, and perspectives. I love that name. 2 years no tobacco, 14 years no alcohol. Wow. Heck yeah. And just for the record, I didn't say what I had quit. I quit drinking and smoking crack. Doing cocaine, I guess. I quit doing everything, but those were my mainstays. I was a drinker and a stinker. Drinker and a crack smoker, I guess. Millie says November 2021. Look at you go. Look at you go. And it's nothing but the past now. Huh? Huh? Wanna Love says I'm clean about 12 hours. Well, keep it up. You're killing it. 12 hours is a long, long time. That takes conscious effort. That's not something you stumble into unless you're in a bad way, right? So, um, thank you for sharing that, Juana. That's awesome. Put another couple hours in front of that, and then you'll have more. Huh? Huh? But I tell you what, the 12 hours is just as a big deal as the 25 years. You know what I mean? The 12 hours, in fact, might even be a bigger deal, right? Because that's really the hardest part is the beginning, getting started on the path. Not to say that staying on the path isn't hard, right? Staying on the path definitely ain't easy. But getting on the path is 100% the hardest part. It's like you're on a train that's moving really fast, and in order to get to get on the path, you have to jump off the train. Um, which is not the easiest thing to do, but successfully doing so sets you on the right path, eh? Well, heck yeah. Thank you for having the courage to share this as well, Juana. I really, really appreciate it. I tell you what, you're inspiring to many, many people right now. People that may have been lurking and thinking about, right, making the change, making the move, but haven't got the courage up quite yet. And I totally agree with Shelly. So freaking proud of every single one of you, even those that aren't speaking up. 12 hours is a great start, says James. I totally agree, dude. My mods are putting up the Discord and the Facebook and the website. You guys are great. You guys are wonderful. Marla says March 3rd will be 6 years clean off whippets and all opioids. Interesting. I think it's curious that you put the whippet distinction there. I'm really stoked that you're clean off of your drugs of choice, Marla. I tell you what. Life's a lot better on this side, eh? Grass is actually quite greener over here, eh? Mocked. I like this. It's about 4 years since I quit fitting into society's unnecessary expectations and chose comfort in myself. This just goes to show you, folks. You don't have to be quitting a drug or a substance or gambling, or you can really apply to pretty much anything, right? We can apply the concepts on the lifeboat to pretty much anything. Mocked is applying them to not fitting into society's expectations, right? The mold that they want to place Smocked in. We're not going to have any of that, right? We're not going to have any of that. We're going to forge our own path, and we're going to do just a little better than we did yesterday. And if we keep that thing going for about 4 years, right? Or I don't know, if you keep it going for as long as you friggin' can, right? But heck yeah, Mocked. I love it. I love it. I'm a huge fan of nonconformity. Jason P, my brother. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for your support. Dude, I really do love your thumbnail. You got a good looking face, dude. I tell you what. Cooking away this morning, but never far. Just wanted to pop in and say you were all loved and appreciated. Know that you're not alone this holiday season. Extra ones, hugs, and love, of course, to my chosen family. Dude, you are a staple on the boat. We wouldn't be quite the same without you, dude. And I just appreciate you so much. I love you so much, man. Thanks for being a part of this thing here, huh? Right back at you, dog. Look forward to the next hot sauce convention we can fart around at, huh? In fact, speaking of, we should realistically start thinking about like travel meetup plans and stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be an event like a hot sauce convention for us to meet up. Really, what needs to happen is I need to find a what is it? A reliable form of transportation, right? Maybe the lifeboat gets a bus. I think that would be so cool. Obviously, a little financially out of reach right now, but I think that that has been one of the many. We've been brainstorming lots of ideas on how to capitalize on that idea, right? How to meet up with the lifeboat crew all over the world, all over the country, what have you. And a bus is something that keeps coming up, an RV or a bus. Again, this is just in the brainstorming phase, right? This is not about to happen, but it is going to happen inevitably eventually, one day. And I think the bus is probably, out of all the ideas we've had, is probably the best one. We would wire it up with like TVs and cameras and whatnot so that we could do the show from the bus, right? Um, so I really look forward to putting that into action, man. I don't think it's as far out of reach as I think it is because again, I don't know how to be successful, right? My brain can't wrap itself around having a success, right? If things are looking good, it just doesn't compute, right? My brain's like, well, something bad's gonna happen. So, it could be right around the corner for all I know. But this is something we're looking at. This is something we're looking into, and I very, very much look forward to coming around and meeting you guys in person, right? To having some lifeboat hangouts IRL. Do I enjoy going to any festivals? Asks Marla Simpson. Yes, yes. I really enjoy Burning Man. I most likely will end up at a couple festivals this upcoming year. What are we going into? 2025? We had originally planned Burning Man 2025 for our fire crew, but the project we have in mind, the art, we're getting an art grant and going that route this year instead of the other. There's a lot of ways to get a ticket to Burning Man, and usually we go as performers, but I think we're looking at an art grant. So we submit this idea, right, to the committee, to the board, and then they say, "Cool, we want to see it in real life. Here's money." So that's the method we're gonna do this year, but I don't think we're gonna have it completed by 2025. The scale of, and I'm not going to talk about it at all. It's not for me to talk about yet, but you will be hearing about it in the future. It's going to take longer than 1 year to complete, so we're thinking 2026 or 2027. But that being said, that doesn't mean I won't go to any festivals in the meantime. I definitely am going to attempt to go to Hawaii again this year for the Falls on Fire. I definitely am sad I missed out on that, but my mental health is much more important, right? And it's not just going to Hawaii to have fun with my friends and to fart around. Like it's bigger than that, right? We're cultivating a family reunion for the fire crew, right? We're cultivating a space that we can all get together and create and build together. Kind of like the Fire Shire. If you've been around a while, we had a property that we all kind of lived at. Um, that's no longer the case, right? So we're trying to cultivate a space for all of us to come back together because we're all kind of apart now. So it's much bigger than just farting around, right? So I definitely will be attempting to go back to Hawaii for the regional Burning Man on Big Island in August of 2025. But other than that, there's always the Utah Burn that I like to go to. I like to go to burning festivals, Burning Man stuff, basically. I used to be like into raves and stuff, but I feel so out of place and so I don't feel good at raves anymore. So I don't really go. And as far as there are a lot of festivals that are like centered around wellness and like bettering yourself. I went to Convergence last year with my fire crew, and I had no idea that there were festivals centered around bettering oneself, centered around stuff that we talk about every day, right? And in fact, Convergence was all about addiction recovery and spirituality and like all kinds of stuff. It was mind blowing. I had no idea that people were out there doing that. So I could definitely see myself finding more festivals like that because I think that I had a lot of opportunity at that festival to get footage and interviews, and I didn't capitalize on it as much as I would have liked to. Right. So knowing that there are festivals out there like that, I think it could be decent content. I just need to find out how to do it. I need to figure out how to do it properly. Right. So there's also that. What about you, Marla? Are you a festival goer? If you've ever thought about going to Burning Man and it sounds interesting, you should definitely do it once. But don't do it unprepared, right? Understand that you're going into an extreme camping situation, right? But I mean, it's definitely worth it, 100%. If you've thought about it, I would give it a go. Yeah, Steve-O totally does that, Brianna. Can't you see me in a Steve-O bus traveling around with way more clothes on than Steve-O usually has? But same kind of idea, right? Monica's down for a meetup. Robin Miners, happiest of holidays to you too, Robin. Thank you so much. Member for 9 months, kicking butt. I feel like you've been here for longer than that. I'm not gonna lie. Been Christmas Day for 3 hours. I forget you're on the other side of the world. End of musing. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing awesome. Um, yeah. What's new with you? What's going on with you? Reality. Hello, hello. James, have a great day, man. I'm sure we'll see you soon. All right. James says, I must get ready to go. Thank you all for being the best versions of yourselves today and trying to do better. I tell you what, if all of us just do a little bit of that, the world would be a better place. And so it is. Annika knows herself too well. That's really good to know, I have to say. Another fun fact from someone who knows, um, blow at a festival like Burning Man is not the drug to be doing. I mean, obviously, we don't want to be doing drugs, but it's just not the general intake methods for that drug are not good in an extremely dry place. You know, somewhere where you're in an extreme camping situation, water is like a luxury, right? I don't. Yeah, blow's not the best way to get down. And I mean, I guess that's a statement from past Michael, right? When I was still partying, I didn't like to do that stuff out there because it's just not, it's kind of hard to party on that stuff in the desert, you know? Anyways, let's not party on that stuff, regardless. But I think that's really funny you bring that up, Monica. I think that's way funny. And you know, knowing yourself, yeah, don't go out there. Don't go do that. Right. For me, I'm not going to go to a rave because I know it's going to make me feel like I've made no progress. Right. If I find myself at a rave, I'm going to like mentally be back where I was before I made these decisions and changes in my life. Right. I mean, I might not actually act on doing drugs or drinking or anything, but there's no reason for me to be there. I'm not going to feel good about it. Right. Know thyself. I love that scene in The Matrix when the Oracle points to the sign above her door. She's like, "It's Latin, means know thyself." Any tuna on the menu for Christmas dinner? Is Flick in here having tuna for Christmas? What's going on, Flick Fox? Good to see you. Merry Christmas Day. Kristen Melinda says, I assume psychedelics are the thing everyone is looking for at something like Burning Man. Am I wrong? It's definitely more popular. I tell you what, today with the kids and the adults, the ketamine is really popular. Cocaine is obviously, I mean, I think cocaine's always going to be popular. Although what we're doing today, I don't think it's actually blow. But that's a whole, that we can do a whole show on that. In fact, we have done a few. But no, it's the trippy drugs and ketamine are both really popular with the kids and the adults these days. Um, thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Or miss, pardon me. Yeah, I want to say that ketamine's like the most popular in that scene. Everybody loves ketamine. Personally, not a big fan, but hey, to each their own, I guess. That's definitely an interesting learning curve too, right? Because this is a community that I am involved with. This is a community that I've spent a lot of time with, that I really feel at home with. And, just because there's partying going on in this scene doesn't necessarily mean that everyone in the scene is partying, right? And just because someone parties doesn't necessarily mean that they're an addict or that they're um, a bad person or a good person, right? So, for example, I talked about this a little bit the other day. I forged solid connections with a lot of people in this scene, in this community, right? I also forged a lot of acquaintance sort of relationships, right? People that I was partying with. So I had good and bad friendships in this community. When I decided to get sober, right, to start walking this path of recovery and quit screwing around, I stopped hanging out with a large portion of my friend group, right? Because they weren't necessarily good for me. But there's a ton of people that I have forged connections with that do have my best interests at heart, right? Whether or not they party. In fact, most of them don't, honestly. Most of my friends that I've kept don't party, right? And the ones that do party that I've kept have been like specially picked, right? Because I think that's a little dangerous, right? Obviously. But that being said, that was a hard learning curve. When I went on tour to go to that festival Convergence this year with my fire crew, it was an adjustment to be in that environment and like be in the headspace that I'm in. And let me rephrase that. It was a challenge, a large challenge, an adjustment to be in that environment and maintain my headspace. Let's say that. That's much more accurate, I think. And I did well, right? And when I say well, I mean I didn't die, I didn't relapse, but I had a very very difficult time with my mental health. By the end of it, I really wanted to off myself. You know what I mean? And that's why I came home early. That's why I canceled the Hawaii trip. Some reevaluating was necessary, but that adjustment and I'm not saying that you need to make this adjustment. I'm just saying that like this is the adjustment that I made, right? Like this is my story, this is my history. And I still am not entirely certain where I stand in that community. I know that I have friends for life that are involved in that community. That doesn't mean that I need to be involved in the community, right? That doesn't necessarily mean anything for me. I get to decide, right? I get to choose for me. And maybe I can be involved in art projects, right? Maybe I can be involved in the stuff that really lights my fire and not be involved with the rest. That seems like a pretty simple solution, right? Everybody's happy. I'm not, damaging or strain putting strain on my mental health, right? But I just thought that was a fun thing to bring up because it was close to this conversation. Reality, I totally agree. I have no trouble messing things up all by myself. I'm actually really good at it. It's one of my superpowers. You and I must be quite similar. I didn't need them coming around and be the addicts we were. Absolutely. And so thankful. I'm so grateful that that's not the human being I am anymore. Word of the day. Good to see you. Word of the day. I have a friend who is an addict, cocaine and crack, who's been in a downward spiral for years. Should I let one of his family members know? Do you think they don't know? I guess this can sometimes be the case. I wonder what my dad would say. My initial reaction is, yeah, I think you should. But at the same time, I don't think that we as people understand addiction and mental health very well. I mean, they're definitely putting the fent in whatever they can. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if it was already in the blow, dude. And honestly, the xylazine as well, right? I mean, I think that street drugs are tainted. They live in a different country and have not seen him for years. Interesting. So again, I think my initial answer is yes, but let's play the tape through, right? Let's kind of like imagine doing this. What do we think that his family is going to do? Like, how do you think they'll react? And obviously, we can't say for sure. But I like to, when making decisions like this, sometimes I'll play the tape through and kind of see what it looks like in my imagination, right? So we tell them how do they react, and then what kind of power do they have, right? Are they gonna make a change in this boy's life, right? In this person's life, this girl, this guy? Um, or is it gonna just like worry them, right? I think that as addicts, if we're not ready, we aren't going to make a change, right? Nobody can save us. We have to save ourselves. Kind of also like in the Matrix when they talk about, I can show you the door, but you have to walk through it. Like we can't save your friend. He's got to save himself. You know what I mean? We can help him. We can do all kinds of stuff, but at the end of the day, he's got to walk through. You know what I mean? He's got to walk over the threshold. Word of the day says not sure, but he will be going to a homeless encampment soon. Have you talked to him? Have you been like, "Yo, what's going on, man? How you doing? Obviously, you're not doing well, but talk to me. I'm worried about you." Um, I don't know. I feel like his parents deserve to know, right? But at the same time, I sometimes think about things like, am I causing the family pain that is like not helpful, right? Or are they just going to be in pain now and suffering and not be able to change anything? And I guess that's not for me to decide, right? That's way over my pay grade, right? I think maybe the right thing to do is to, yeah, tell his family. And I really, really am curious what my dad would say. Right now would be a great time for the Admiral to just magically appear, wouldn't it? Thank you for bringing that up, word of the day. It's definitely something to think about. Um, and honestly, I feel like the more I think about it, I feel like I would tell him, regardless, because part of being a family, part of love is like caring for the person. And sometimes when you care for a person a lot, it hurts. Sometimes that's just a part of the deal. But I think that if I try to put myself in this person's parents' shoes, like if my kid was out there on crack and cocaine and I didn't know, I would want to know. You know what I mean? I would want to know. So I think I'm going to stand by that answer. Word of the day. I think that if you're asking me, I think you should tell them. But again, you're only in this position because you got a good heart. You're only in this position because you care, right? So no matter what you decide, it's going to be all right, right? No matter what you decide, you wouldn't normally be in this position, right? So just do your best. That's all we can do. I speak to him. He has charges for shoplifting. This guy had a good banking job and a nice girl. Sounds like my dad so much. I tell you what, thanks for the opinion. I am debating this and we'll reach out to his close friends first. That is a wonderful idea. See, smarter minds than mine, dude. I think you're pretty well equipped to make good decisions. Word of the day. You are no slouch, that's for sure. Marcy, good to see you. Love Boston. I just saw someone else. Christian B. Yo, yo. Krushik, yo. What's going on? Other restrained. Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. Victoria, me too. Me too. And it hurts the heart in a special way that nothing else really does, remembering that I was like that? Victoria says, when I see people messed up, I think, ew, that was me. I tell you what. I tell you what. Annika says, I get to be with all my alcoholic family members tonight. Woo! I can hear your excitement just in your words here. Not looking forward to it. My goal is to stay for an hour to see my Nana, give her my gift for her, and dip. Well, I support this. You've got this. You totally got this. If you have any moments of struggle or anything like that, reach out to someone on the boat, yo. Reach out to a friend. Reach out to someone who gets it. But something tells me you've got this, Hanukkah. You sound like this is not your first rodeo. I'd be willing to bet that it's not. Millie the dandelion, I swear I didn't forget you. Good morning, Petal. How are you? I wouldn't know myself as well as I do if it wasn't for all who board the lifeboat. I'm here today with the help of all of you. I'll forever be firing these robust magical wishes and bunches of love to you all. Your messages always make me smile and fill me with such warmth, Millie. I have to say. I have to say. I have to say. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we have this effect. I'm glad that this is how you feel. Makes me happy. Paula D, hello, hello. Love it. Captain, any news on the missing canvases? I still haven't seen my dad. He knocked on my door yesterday and while he was on the phone, and I don't know if he does this on accident or on purpose, but sometimes he'll be on the phone while doing things, and I don't know if he does it on purpose to like give the message, I'm too busy right now, or if it's just how the day's going. But that's how it went. He came and dropped something off, so I didn't even get a chance to ask him. I'm trying. I'm trying. I tell you what, though, as soon as I know, I'll let you know. Shelley has a great quote here. Nothing worth having comes easy. Theodore Roosevelt. Catgirl226, hello there. Thanks for telling me this. This makes me feel nice. Makes me feel nice. I don't think Jesus minds if you put your dogs first, Carol. That's just my opinion. Bree, I'm so glad to see you again. I don't want to like make you like feel bad or anything. We were totally worried. Something inside me told me that you were good. So I didn't, worry too much. But I'm really happy to see your face, or your rainbow skull face at the very least. People that rescue animals just melt me. That's one of the things about Takara that makes me so happy. She's just a sweetheart for animals. Do you know she's a vegan not because she doesn't like meat or that she doesn't like, it's not about taste or like texture or it's literally because she loves animals so much. She doesn't want to eat them. It's like literally the sweetest thing I've ever heard. I love eating animals, but I just think that's the sweetest, cutest thing. I'm thinking about getting a kitty. I tell you what, one of the things I'm looking forward to making a change with in this new year is I'm going to go volunteer at the Humane Society or maybe a cat shelter or something like that, an animal shelter of some sort. And I'm going to spend some time with animals. I don't necessarily need to get one immediately, right? Now, obviously, you can't rush that kind of thing. I think it's kind of like in Harry Potter, where the wand chooses the wizard. I think that my proper pet's gonna pop out one day and say hello to me. So I'm gonna position myself properly to receive such gifts from the world, and go ahead and go volunteer down there. Reality has 6 cats, and I can have one. Oh my! Trying to get rid of them, huh? Trying to get rid of them. I do love kitties. Kitties are so cute. Annika says, I don't care how allergic to cats I am. I love them too much. Lucy is allergic to cats, dogs. It's hard to tell because she has a cat now. I'm pretty sure she's allergic to cats. But she got a cat, I don't know, I want to say like a year after we broke up, a year or two after we broke up, and has had a kitty ever since. And it was kind of like that wand chooses the wizard kind of situation. Wherever she was living, the story goes that this outside cat, would always come around while she was having her coffee or her tea on the porch, and they made friends. And then when Lucy moved, she took the stray cat with her, and now they are bonded. So true. Yadira, good to see you. Hello, hello. Merry Christmas Eve. Love and joy for all on the boat. Sometimes it blows me away that you guys want to hang out with me like this. We're not really talking about a whole lot, but we're having a great time, right? And I think that's that not knowing how to be successful, or like this isn't even success. This is just us hanging out, right? But something in my brain, like it just doesn't compute that this is real, right? It totally is. This is awesome. This is so cool. Maybe one day my brain will accept it. Do you, Jeremy, do you have a kitty already? I noticed you said new kitty. Carol, this is such a cool story. Carol says that her dogs were in a kill shelter in Romania before she saved them, and I think this is such a cool story. I showed pictures of some dogs that I bonded with on here before. One of my exes rescued pit bulls, and these dogs were one of the two were in this situation. It wasn't in a kill shelter though. They had Sharky had owners that cut his ears and would beat him and just like they just didn't treat him well. They beat him and like didn't feed him and left him in a kennel that was too small. And when she got Sharky, he was skin and bones. You could see his ribs. It was scary, and he's like this big, huge, healthy, happy animal now. He's got to live this wonderful life. And if you look into his eyes, like you can tell he knows. He totally knows. And his bond with Bunny, that's my ex's name, is just it's that way because he knows that she saved him, right? He knows the love, right? And it's actually the cutest thing. Their relationship, the way that they communicate and interact, is just the cutest thing. I'm a sucker for animals and cute little relationships. The real sassafras. Hello, hello. Real Sassafras says, I bought this cat for 5 years ago for an emotional support cat for my child when we were going through a custody battle. And it turns out that this cat has been my emotional support animal. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you got something. We all deserve a little emotional support. You were dealing with kidney stones? Oh, no. I'm really glad that that is over and done with, yo. I hear that that's one of the most painful things. Caddy Connie, hello, hello. I wonder how far up in chat I am. Oh my. Oh my. I think that's all. That's all I've got. Um, I guess I don't have to run. I've got nowhere to be. Licking his paws and his backside a lot lately. Any ideas? I would definitely take him to a vet and check it out. He could have parasites, or like there could be something in his digestional tract. Um, Dogs and animals in general. Here, let me click on it so we're clear here. Hey, what's going on, Tony? What's going on, Tony? Good to see you. Yeah, I would definitely check out. I would definitely get him looked at if it's not going to break the bank. Um, Animals can have all kinds of funky stuff going on. Like maybe he ate something funny, right? And now there's like some sort of bacteria in his gut, or right, or maybe he ate some Easter grass and he just needs to drag his butt around, right? Um, but yeah, if you're nervous, right? If it seems like a an out of character thing for the dog, I definitely would take it to a vet and just get a checkup, right? Like, and tell the vet, right? Hey, he's been licking his butt and his paws a lot more than is usual, right? It's an alarming amount. Joe Mama asks, Captain, what's your favorite holiday tradition? I feel like the easy answer is seeing my mom and my sister, because I don't get to see them very often. Pretty much once a year around Christmas. But other than that, I guess Christmas Day snowboarding is pretty cool. I do that a lot. I'm definitely going to practice the guitar today, Jeremy. 100%. 100%. No slacking for you either. We I it's it's a fun thing that we like to do, right? But at the same time, if we're going to get any better, we do have to treat it with an element of seriousness, right? If I don't practice every day for a set amount of time, it's not serious, right? I'm not treating it serious. And my progress suffers. My uncle told me he has been playing for a set amount of time every day recently, and he hasn't been just playing songs that he knows and covers and stuff. He's been doing scales. He's been working on his music, right? His I guess in music we call that the homework, right? That's the homework, right? Going and finding what notes I'm actually playing, or like learning some scales and then drilling them so my fingers know, right? Drilling arpeggios, like the stuff that's not fun, right? I'm not necessarily playing music. I'm practicing playing music, right? But anyways, Uncle Johnny has been doing that every day, and you can tell. I don't know if I don't watch all of his shows, right? So I don't know if he's played on there recently, but he's getting better. He's getting way better, and you can totally tell. Not that he was no slouch to begin with. Uncle Johnny definitely he knows how to have a good time on that git fiddle, but just goes to show treating it serious, and that goes with anything, right? Guitar, recovery, right? Maybe my new job, right? Applying yourself, treating it seriously, putting conscious effort in every day, even for a small amount of time, right? Maybe it's just 30 minutes, maybe it's just 40 minutes, right? Maybe it's just 20 minutes, right? My first time meditating, I could only make it 20 minutes. That's fine. Let's do it again tomorrow, right? Let's keep at it, and you will see monumental progress quicker than you could possibly imagine. Arabian Bard, what's going on, Arwa? It's good to see you. I always forget that your name's Arwa. It rolls off the tongue nice and easy, so I try to remember. Lori Abs, hello, hello. Christmas, good. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas Eve to you as well. Where can I see or hear your music? Asks Reality. Well, currently I don't have any up and out there, but January 1st, I'm going to be rolling out my own little channel. And I think that it would feel less weird to play music on my channel and not the Lifeboat, right? So next year, basically in a few days, you will be able to catch me playing music on my channel, but with a grain of salt. I'm a very, very humble amateur guitarist. I don't have any super awesome things to show off, but we will be messing around, farting a boot. So AVAC 4, Tony says, do you have to sit in a certain position to meditate, or can you just get comfortable in a chair? You can totally just get comfortable. And in fact, I think one of the shows that I'll be doing here soon is I'll do a guided meditation with you guys. When I do it, I just kind of free ball it. I just go in there and just kind of like do what I know or what I think I should do. So what I can do is we can do an episode where I guide everyone through a meditation, right? And then we can use that as a baseline or as a guide, right? But there are a lot of different ways to meditate. There are a lot of different ways. Where did that go? I keep not clicking. There are a lot of different ways to meditate, and I generally tend to go for like a mindfulness sort of thing where we start with breathing. We just kind of focus on our breathing, right? Take some deep breaths, and then um, we'll observe our thoughts moving through our head. And the thing is you'll notice at that point, it's like, hey, my thoughts are really moving quickly. That's not really what we're trying to go for here, is it? Well, you just kind of like practice observing thoughts and not making decisions or judgments, right? Like if I have a thought, oh, forgot to turn the crock pot on. Don't say this is good or this is bad. Don't judge that thought, right? We just kind of, it's like, okay, I forgot to turn the crock pot on, right? And then back to the breathing. And that's the kind of meditation that I've been doing. Technically, I guess that's mindfulness, but I can definitely do a guided meditation, and we could do a few, right? We could do a couple different methods. Mindfulness is my favorite, but there's all kinds of stuff, right? We could actually listen to someone that does guided meditation and all do it together. But I think that that'll be beneficial. Meditation has already been changing the game for me, and I've only done it for 3 days now. Lori Abs also knows what she's talking about. If you guys haven't been over to Lori Abs' channel, I would definitely give her a scope. Hopefully, you don't mind me shouting you out, Lori. I enjoy your content, and I think others do too. Obviously, they do, right? Patience by Guns N' Roses? Sure. I don't know if I know that song off the top of my head. GNR as in Guns N' Roses, right? My brain at first said Simon and Garfunkel. I was like, wait a second, that's a G and an R. Robin says, I find it easier to meditate with something over my eyes. And this is definitely something that I can relate with. It might help you as well. A little trick. Goosebump, musical spanks. I love that word too, or that phrase, Shelly. Free ball it, because it's like free fall, but we're not falling, we're balling, you know? Absolutely, Lori, of course. There's no stupid questions, Brianna, only stupid people. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Don't take me seriously. Really stupid question, but what is the point of meditation? What is mindfulness, and how do you not fall asleep? These are wonderful questions. The point of meditation is to cultivate inner peace, to put it as simply as possible. We talk about ants, the automatic negative thoughts. We talk about our mind being like a tornado, right? Sometimes it just starts whipping up a storm, and it's kind of hard to rein in my brain, my thoughts. Well, meditation is basically the act of cultivating inner peace, right? It's the act of practicing slowing that down. It's the act of, and honestly, the reason our brains are that way is because of the world we live in, right? All this instant gratification. We've got ads, we've got YouTube, we've got DoorDash, we've got, there's instant gratification is a bigger and bigger part of our society, right? So this inner peace, this like nothing needs to be happening right now feeling is being lost. So meditation, the point of it is to master our minds a little more, right? The point is eventually you get to a point where the tornado isn't running me, I'm running the tornado, right? And that means I can turn it down, which is the benefit for people like us. That's the real benefit, right? Is that we get to turn the volume down in a healthy way. And mindfulness, I'm going to look up a definition and then I'm going to attempt to freeball it, but I'm also going to look up a definition. The quality or state of being conscious or aware of something. The secondary definition, a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment. There we go. This is what we want. While calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, or bodily sensation, used as a therapeutic technique. Yes, so we're focusing our awareness on the present moment. We're calmly acknowledging and accepting our feelings and our thoughts, right? Not passing judgment. And this is how we cultivate that inner peace, right? I hope that I did that justice. That's what my understanding of the purpose is. And as far as the not falling asleep, I don't know. I mean, I don't meditate laying down. Do you fall asleep sitting up, Brianna? I often wish that I could fall asleep sitting up, but it doesn't seem to be very natural for me. I know people that do. People that I'm jealous of. Thank you, Lori. Lori says I did it justice. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. The best explanation for mindfulness you've ever heard for meditation. Well, hopefully I'm not blushing. I like this definition a lot. Very blunt and to the point. Mindfulness, being aware of the present moment on purpose, not by accident. I love this so much, Blessed to Crochet. A disco ball is hundreds of pieces of broken glass put together to make a magical ball of light. You aren't broken. You're a disco ball. I love that so much. Is that a Blessed to Crochet quote? Did you come up with that? Because that's got to go on the quote wall. Shirt cocking it, lol. The first time I heard that term, I about died laughing. I'm pretty sure that I learned of that term because I was shirt cocking. Unintentional, unawares. Uh, Tea is definitely, I love this. Mocked says we have a tea ceremony around here as a mindfulness practice. I 100% like didn't appreciate tea and like, I don't know, certain traditions of this sort until I used it in conjunction with like a mindfulness practice. That's one thing that the Burning Man community has benefited me with is I've learned a lot about things like this, right? Like getting together and sitting down and having some tea with your friends, even in a ceremonial, more less of a social and more of a ceremonial aspect, really does wonders for the mind and the body and the spirit. Um, Sound baths were a big thing in Utah when I left, and I have to say, they were. I thought it was a pretty cool concept. Except I'm pretty sure that I'm allergic to sage, and people never ask you before putting sage all over your friggin' body in that community, and it was a huge turnoff for me. It's like I don't want to come to this thing and then feel sick because you didn't remember that your good friend Michael is allergic to sage. So I stopped going to sound baths, but I always thought that it was a really cool use of ceremony, right? We would also have tea sometimes at these sound baths, but just the ceremony of it, I thought was very conducive to the mindfulness part. Christian B says, I am highly aware. I'm having anxiety over going home for Christmas dinner tomorrow. I can relate with that. Most, hey, that's my name. Yeah, my mom fancied me an archangel. Most of my years on this planet have been spent, where'd Christian statement go? Have been spent feeling this way. It's only a new thing in my life to where I'm not having anxiety over going home for Christmas. And I'm sorry that that's your reality, man. Tell you what, though, it's only temporary, right? If you can just make it through the gathering, you've won, right? So that is that's all I've got for that, I guess, though. Reach out if you need help. If you're struggling, dealing with a difficult family is never fun. No, we're here for you. We're going to be putting up content tomorrow as well. Yeah, man, I can relate with this feeling a ton, and I definitely do not envy that position. But you've got this. You can make it. You can make it through. It's going to be uncomfortable, but then you get to go home, right, back to your own comfort and sanctuary. I think I'm about to start working on my third coffee as well, Marcy. Well, heck yeah, guys. Well, this has been a banger of an episode with no real direction, but who needs direction when you've got your friends around you, huh? We're just kind of hanging about. We're loitering. We should get a sign that says loitering, because usually the signs say no loitering. Loitering, done here. All right, guys. I think I am going to go play some guitar and eat some breakfast and pay my power bill. That being said, loitering allowed. That's right. Christian B says, I have a plan in place, just being mindful. That's why I'm feeling this way. Work got canceled today, so I don't have a distraction. Frowny face. Well, I'm stoked work called in. Maybe we can do something fun or maybe even involve ourselves in some self love today, Christian, right? Maybe maybe a nice hot shower, right? And, like a little fresh meal cooked for yourself or something. I don't know. Something to distract yourself, right? We have the power. We have technology. Matrix, feel free to text me, man. I'll get on my phone and be attentive today. All right. I know you're in there alone, and that's super duper whack. I will definitely reach out and see what's going on. Maybe we can chit chat about some stuff. Brianna, do you take care of your mother? Hope you don't mind me asking. And apparently you can fall asleep anywhere. I'm so jealous. This is a superpower. Maybe we should have a segment called the Loiter Hour. That's a great name. Reality, you certainly have a way with words. Well, if she does, I'm sure we'll be real nice to her. All right. It's really easy to get drawn into conversation with y'all, you know? You're real easy to talk to. You know that? Y'all are a real riot to hang around with. You know that? Bunch of cool cats. Bunch of cool cats. All right. So that being said, I think I am totally gonna get out of here. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm trying to understand just your home dynamic a little bit more. That's all. I'm curious. I'm a little invested now in you know, so I just like to know. I'm curious and I care. You're doing you're wonderful, Brianna. Thank you for doing what you can, right? That's all we can do. And yeah, just know it takes a special person to be doing what you're doing. All right, guys, I'm going to go play. Much love. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. It certainly makes a difference. Shout out to all our new folks, to the mods, to the crew. You guys are the best. We keep on growing and we keep on going. It's pretty good stuff out here. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Christmas Eve. I most likely will be seeing you again today. I don't know what the Scoville plans are, but we like to we like some family activity on holidays. So I'm sure that you'll be seeing us later. This has been the Lifeboat with Captain Calhoun, the Loiter Hour. Good morning and have a great day, y'all. Goons play. I assume we're not talking about Tarkov. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, what am I going to play? Most likely Reminiscence by Avenged Sevenfold and or what's the other song that I remember? By Demon Hunter. It's my new endeavor. Not a super difficult song, but I have to actually focus for an extended period of time to learn it. So that's the challenge. But I will never forget the first half of Reminiscence. It's my warm up song. Yeah, it's way better when it's not my mouth. Anyways, an angry elf. Well, that is one way to flip the script and change your perspective on that, right? It's kind of funny when you put it that way, even though the implications totally suck. But I'm proud of you for changing the perspective on it. I am totally out of here now. All right, guys. You guys are the best. It wouldn't be so difficult for me to leave if you guys sucked, so good for you. You don't suck. Oh, that was so less complimentary than I wanted it to be. Anyways, later. Foot in the mouth.